Have you ever wondered why some people grow lonelier as they age, while others remain surrounded by love and connection? It's not just about wrinkles or slowing down. As we get older, we develop habits, small, sneaky ones, that can push people away, damage relationships, and make life harder. The scariest part? Most of us don't even realize we're doing them until it's too late. But here's the good news. You can change these habits. This guide will uncover the hidden behaviors that steal your joy, health, and closeness with others. You'll meet Julie, a 71-year-old retired librarian whose story reveals how these habits took hold and how she turned her life around. Stick around to learn about 9 surprising traps that might be affecting you or someone you love. Number 7 will shock you. It's the one most people miss until it's cost them dearly. By the end, you'll get a challenge that could transform your life starting today. Becoming too negative or critical. Sarah never thought of herself as negative. She was just honest. But over the years, she found herself complaining more. Aches and pains, the state of the world, the way young people acted. It all frustrated her. She didn't realize how much her negativity drained those around her. Conversations became shorter and people started avoiding her. Even her grandkids made excuses not to visit. Negativity is like a weight that pulls people down. While venting can feel like a relief, constant complaining isolates you. The good news, you can shift this. Start conversations with something positive instead of a complaint. Express gratitude and take interest in others. Instead of criticizing, ask questions. When Sarah made these small changes, people warmed up to her again, and she felt the connection she had been missing. Ignoring personal hygiene and appearance, Sarah used to love dressing up. But as she got older, she started skipping hair appointments, wearing baggy clothes and avoiding the mirror. She told herself it didn't matter, but deep down she felt different. Over time, people treated her differently too. Less eye contact, fewer invitations. Personal appearance isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect. When you take care of yourself, you feel better. Small actions, getting dressed in clothes you love, brushing your hair, wearing a favorite scent. Send a message, I matter. When Sarah started paying attention to these habits again, she felt lighter, more confident, and more like herself. People noticed, and her interactions improved. Being stubborn and resistant to change, Sarah liked doing things her way. She refused to learn texting, insisting that if her family wanted to talk, they could call. But over time, those phone calls became rare. Family updates and photos were shared in group chats she refused to join, leaving her out of the loop. Change is inevitable, but resisting it can cut you off from meaningful connections. Instead of saying, I don't need that, try saying, I'll give it a shot. Learning something new keeps you engaged and connected. When Sarah finally let her granddaughter teach her to text, she was surprised at how easy it was. More importantly, she realized how much she had been missing. Daily updates, inside jokes, and small moments that made her feel included. Hoarding and refusing to let go of clutter. Sarah's home was filled with memories. Old birthday cards, stacks of newspapers, clothes she hadn't worn in years. She kept everything just in case. But over time, her home became overwhelming, cluttered, and stressful. She struggled to clean, find things, and even invite people over without embarrassment. Holding on to too much from the past can weigh you down. Letting go isn't about erasing memories. It's about making space for new ones. Start small. Pick one drawer, one shelf. Ask yourself, do I truly need this? When Sarah started decluttering, her home felt lighter, and so did she. She could finally relax and enjoy her space again. Embracing change for a happier life. Loneliness in old age isn't inevitable. Often, it's a result of habits we don't even realize we have. By making small changes, focusing on positivity, taking care of yourself, staying open to new things, and letting go of what no longer serves you, you can build stronger connections and a more fulfilling life. The key is to start today. What's one small change you can make right now? For instance, Sarah had always struggled with letting go. What if I need them later? She argued. But in reality, the clutter didn't just fill up her home. It began filling her mind. The weight of holding on to so much blocked the joy of the present and clouded her sense of peace. It wasn't just about things. It was about the emotional baggage she had accumulated along with them. Letting go is never easy, especially when it feels like a piece of your heart is tied to each object. But the truth is, holding on to too much, whether material possessions or emotional baggage, can create a sense of being stuck in the past, unable to move forward, unable to embrace the present. It's a silent thief that robs you of clarity and peace of mind. Sarah finally realized that to feel truly free again, she had to let go. Breaking free from clutter doesn't happen all at once. It requires patience, kindness toward yourself, and the courage to face the truth. You don't need everything you've been holding on to. How does one even begin to break free from this overwhelming mess? Start small. Tackle one drawer, one shelf, one box at a time. The thought of decluttering everything at once can feel like an insurmountable task, but breaking it down into manageable chunks makes it more bearable. Ask yourself, do I use this? Does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, then it's time to say goodbye. Donate items that can be useful to someone else, recycle things that are no longer needed, or pass on meaningful possessions to family members who will cherish them. Turn decluttering into a habit, a simple, everyday practice. Set a small goal. Get rid of one item each day. This small but consistent action can lead to profound transformation over time. Clutter doesn't just create mental stress, it can also be dangerous. It increases the risk of falls, accidents, and injuries. A home isn't just a place to live. It should be a place where you feel safe, at ease, and at peace. When Sarah finally decided to take the plunge and declutter, something magical happened. The weight lifted from her shoulders. The transformation wasn't just physical. She donated clothes she hadn't worn in years, recycled old magazines gathering dust, and organized her space in a way that made it easier to find what truly mattered. For the first time in years, Sarah felt a sense of peace in her home. It wasn't just cleaner, it was lighter, brighter, and more welcoming. She felt a new sense of freedom, one that came from releasing the past and embracing the present. Most importantly, she found herself excited to invite friends over again, something she hadn't felt in so long. Sarah had also noticed another troubling change. She was losing patience with others too quickly. She had always considered herself a kind, understanding person. But lately, little moments of irritation flared up. One afternoon at the grocery store, standing in line with a full cart, she found herself growing frustrated with the young cashier fumbling with the bags. "Why is he so slow? Can't he move a little faster?" she thought, feeling her temper rise. Before she could stop herself, the words escaped her lips. "Come on, can you hurry up?" The cashier's face fell. His hands trembled slightly as he tried to finish his task. In that moment, it hit her. This young man was new, nervous, and doing his best. And here she was, snapping at him as if he were the cause of her stress. A pang of guilt washed over her. Was she becoming the very person she used to dislike, the one who was quick to judge, quick to snap, and slow to show grace? As we grow older, it's easy to lose patience with others. Life moves at a different pace, and it's frustrating when the world around us doesn't move as quickly as we'd like. But impatience doesn't just make life harder for others, it makes it harder for us too. It raises stress levels, clouds judgment, and poisons interactions with the people we encounter. So how do we learn to stay patient, to stay kind, especially when life feels like it's moving too slowly? The first step is simple. Pause before reacting. When irritation creeps in, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth getting upset over? Remind yourself that the slow driver might be someone's grandfather and the fumbling cashier could be a student just trying to do his best. A little patience goes a long way. The next time Sarah saw the same young cashier, she smiled and complimented him on his efforts. "You're doing a great job," she said. His face lit up, and in that moment, Sarah realized just how powerful kindness could be. It doesn't take much to make someone's day, to ease their burden. Patience, after all, isn't just a gift to others, it's a gift to ourselves too. Choosing patience over frustration leads to less stress, better interactions, and a more peaceful heart. Over time, Sarah also noticed another troubling habit. She was talking too much and not listening enough. She had always loved to talk, to share stories, to offer advice. But one day, her daughter, who had been calling less and less, finally opened up. "Mom, I love talking to you, but sometimes I don't feel heard," she confessed. "It feels like our calls are all about you and I never get to share what's on my mind." Sarah was stunned. She had never realized how much she dominated conversations. She had been so focused on sharing her wisdom that she had forgotten to give her daughter space to speak, to be heard. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we have all the answers as we age. We want to share our life lessons, to impart the wisdom we've accumulated. But if we don't take the time to listen, to truly listen, we risk pushing our loved ones away. The key to meaningful conversations is balance. Don't just talk, listen. Pause and ask, "What about you? How have things been for you?" Show genuine interest. Resist the urge to interrupt, even if you have a great story to tell. Ask open-ended questions that invite real conversation. The next time Sarah spoke to her daughter, she made a conscious effort to listen. She asked more questions, gave her daughter space, and only offered advice when it was truly needed. The result? Their conversations became longer, warmer, and more meaningful. Sarah learned that the best conversations aren't about talking. More, they're about listening better. Through these lessons, Sarah discovered something powerful. Growth doesn't stop with age. Letting go of clutter, practicing patience, learning to listen. These small shifts transformed her life. They lightened her home, her heart, and her relationships. And for the first time in years, she felt truly free. Let this be your wake-up call. Don't wait for someday to clear the clutter, to practice patience, to truly listen. The time to reclaim your peace, your relationships, and your joy is now. Start small. One step, one change, one act of letting go. Because the life you deserve isn't found in holding on to the past, but in embracing the present with open hands and an open heart. So, what will you do today to move forward? What's one small shift you can make right now? Commit to it. And then, take action. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to our channel for more Lesson of Life. Your support keeps us up.